Shalom. Hey, Marcus.
Shalom,
Shalom.
Karen. All right. It took us 2 weeks and a lot of technical difficulties, but we are here. We may be a little crooked, but we
Right.
are here to deliver the rest of this, at least part two of this Passover story, heading on into California.
Right.
So, as you guys can see, we are live. If you watch Butlers for any time, you know we got 5 children. So going live is a little risky. It's a little risky,
Right.
Can you beat that? Can you
but
beat
we're
that?
out here. So I hear on y'all got
Okay.
both phones running?
Yeah, we turned it off.
Yeah, we can hear y'all. I mean I hear me talking.
Can you
So
hear us
shalom
now?
guys. Yeah, we can hear you. I don't see any of the there we go. So when you come in the building, please say where you're tuning in from. Say shalom because we don't normally go live. We don't go live because you can't edit.
Right.
Okay. But we are here and we are ready to continue at least part two because the last video stopped at everybody getting to the gas station cafe.
Yeah.
And now we had all of our stuff out there. They keep freezing. I wonder if it's just on our end. Shalom from Ohio.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Jessica. Miss Ashuria, did you come back in the building? We have 4 people on. Don't forget to tell where you're coming in from, but we're going to get this story started. My parents are sitting outside and my 5 kids are quiet for just a second.
Right.
So let's go ahead and get back into the testimony. We're going to try to go as far as we can. But yeah, y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So the last video that you guys saw was that, like I said, we were at the cafe. Dad was in the back of the truck with the Hispanics, and they brought him in.
Right.
The Most High gave us so many rams in the bush. Shalom, Miss
Right.
Terry from Connecticut for now. So you're moving around, Miss Terry, I see. And so we were all at this cafe praying and worshiping, crying and laughing, and
Right.
so let's get back into it. I'm gonna get started off. Everybody butt in as you see fit. Okay, so I'll pray to the Most High Yahuwah that the Butlers do have this platform to the point where when one of my friends knew that we were stranded at a gas station / cafe,
Right.
they fed us and gave us extra pickles. She put out a memo. Butlers Unboxed is stranded. What can everybody
Right.
do? So she got back word that there's a guy that was in the valley. It was in the valley, right? He lived in the valley of that area. And
In the
he
middle
was
of
able to-
nowhere.
yes, he was able to come pick us up and take us where we needed to go. Remind you, our van broke down on us the day before. No, not
Yep.
yet. This ain't
No,
we
we
haven't
still
got to
in
the
that
other one.
day.
No.
Oh, we ain't
We're
got
still
to
in
that
that
one.
day.
Right.
Oh,
No.
we got to do part 3. So I was like, so one of her friends, she called. She said, Amber, we got somebody coming. She's gonna pick y'all up, and I'm not gonna say names because I have not got permission to say anybody's name. But you know who you
Right.
are. And thank you for picking us
Right.
up. So I was like, oh, praises. I said, do he know it's 9 of us and bags? And she said, yeah, girl. He watch your channels. I was like, cool. So he texts Zay. He texts me. He was like, shalom, family. I heard y'all was stranded.
Right.
I'm coming to get y'all. Where y'all need to go? We was like, just take us to a hotel. The closest hotel was what y'all say, Daddy?
It was
It was
Indio.
It was India. How
Indio.
many miles? How many miles was that from where we already were?
It's like
45
30
miles.
45 miles.
Yeah, 45 miles away.
Okay, so let's stop there. So now we thought he was coming with a truck. And it come with a truck. He came with a Prius.
A whole
A
Prius.
Prius. And guess what? We thankful for that Prius.
Yep.
You know why?
Right.
Even though the vehicle wasn't what we thought it should have been,
Right.
he still made, was it 2 or 3 trips?
It was 2 trips. He got everybody in 2 trips.
He got everybody in 2 trips and our bags.
Right.
That
And our
Prius
luggage.
was loaded.
Hey, you can't
Right.
tell me nothing about no Prius no more.
Oh,
And
please,
you
No
know
No.
what the
more.
motherfucker
I
y'all
want
doing.
one. I told Johnny I want one now.
That's a reliable car.
that Prius was loaded and it got the job done.
Right.
So He made 2 trips, 40 miles one way each way.
Yeah.
There, back, and there. Right?
And back.
No, he didn't come all the way back because he lived in the valley.
That's what I'm saying. But he came to us,
But
picked us up, went there,
right.
came back,
Right.
and then went back again, back to India to drop us off at the
Yeah.
hotel.
And remember, he did not ask for any gas money or anything in
Oh,
return.
yeah, that's right. No, he didn't ask for any gas money.
He wouldn't
We-
accept.
Well, we
He wouldn't
offered.
accept it.
anything, yeah.
Right.
We offered gas money. He was like, no, just please send up a prayer.
That's right.
I wish I could say this man's name because I can't thank him enough.
Right.
But I know.
but he didn't give us
Y'all see that
permission.
love.
Huh? Right.
She
you
gave
can't
me the
say his
stink
name.
eye.
Right.
We didn't ask for his permission. So yeah. Shalom Drika from Houston, Texas.
Shalom.
Long. And yes, it did take some Tetris to get all them bags and them peoples in that car.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it
We was
did.
in
Took
there.
time.
right. But we in there and he got us to, and the Most High, even through your trials, the Most High got us to one of the best hotels I've ever stayed in.
Yes.
Yes, that was
It
nice.
was
It was
really
very
nice.
nice.
Look, it was new, it was clean, it had enough space for all 7 of my household to fit in one room. It was awesome. But then
Yes.
2 of the kids did went in mama room, didn't it? I think
Yes.
Jeremiah.
Yep.
Jeremiah and Peyton slept with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we finally got there, whew, when I tell you I was exhausted, tired.
Dude.
But the Most High gave us rest. He gave us
Yes.
comfort.
Yeah.
And honestly, we did not know what tomorrow was going to look like.
Right.
And at that moment, though, we were quickly learning. It ain't for us to worry about tomorrow just
Right.
yet.
That's right.
Just yet. We were feeling
Right.
that day. Anybody want to add that? Anybody want to add anything to that before I go to the next day when we woke up and how that went?
Yeah, I do. That night before when we got to the hotel, I thought I was the only one that was thinking the same thing. I went down to the lobby area to pray, to be by myself because I didn't know what was going to happen the next day. But me and Zay was on the same wavelength because Zay was up trying to take care of the business, trying to find another vehicle, and I was up praying. And then I called Zay, and the Most High just came through again. He actually found, matter of fact, I think it was 2 vehicles, and we were trying to decide which one we was going to take. But after he told me that, then I was able to get some rest. But I ain't gonna lie, I was a little worried and concerned because we was still in the middle of nowhere trying to get to Cali.
Right.
Right.
So with that being said, Zay was still looking for how tomorrow was going to go. But the Most High, he wasn't going to let him figure it out. He
Right.
because he thought he had it figured out.
Right.
But that's not the way the Most High sent us the next day. You need something to drink? Look,
Cup
there's
right
your cup right there. So that goes with the script that says sufficient for today. You know,
Right.
you may try to figure out tomorrow. You may think you know how tomorrow's
Right.
gonna go, but
Mhm.
so let's get to tomorrow. So we finally woke up. Everybody took a shower, and we got dressed.
Yep.
Washed off yesterday. The desert
Right.
being, sitting in the desert or whatever. We washed it off. We got refreshed. All praise, we had our bags because we almost did not have bags. If you don't remember what happened, go back and look at testimony part 1, so that you can then come back to this one and catch up. So we finally, did all that, and we went downstairs, and again, the Most High provided. We were at a hotel that had good breakfast.
Right. It was good.
Right.
It wasn't no. Mama had some kind of egg baked with white cheddar and all kinds of stuff. What was it? Waffles.
Like a quiche
Yes.
with waffles.
Yes.
They had plenty
Yes.
of fruit. They had plenty of good fruit to eat also.
We had a good one. So
We did.
on my end, of course, they thought he had to figure it out with this van thing or whatever. But women, stay in your place, okay? Don't be arguing with your husband because sometimes it may not make sense. Don't hey, let him do his
Right.
thing. The most I would stop him. You ain't gotta yell or fuss. So
Right.
it's we said we making you hungry. I'm sorry. Look, tell mama you making hungry. That quiche bake, put a little spinach in there, a little
Yeah.
seasoning. It was good. For a little fruit,
Mm-hmm.
you're done. And that,
Bussin'.
but you
And
need
that
have
passion fruit juice too. That was
okay.
okay.
We ain't had breakfast yet.
Right.
So we still in Arizona. It's still 9:30 where we at. So
Right.
some of y'all already
Right.
probably ate. We ain't ate yet. So they thought one thing, but then I was up and I was like, let me look for a rental car. Right. So
Right.
we woke up. I was trying to look for a rental car. There was only one place that had something almost
Right.
big enough, but it wasn't big enough. But we again trying to make it to the Passover.
Right. Look, we trying to get that at a point in time.
Yeah, so we made it
Right.
work. So a sister came and picked us up in a 2022 Denali, which technically only seats 7. Again, it was 9 of us, but you know how we do. Get in there and sit on the floor. Y'all too. Both of y'all get in one seatbelt.
Right.
We gonna make this work. So we called. Now the thing was, this the thing. Remember this one for the say. There was no one-way vehicles.
Right.
Every company still wanted us to bring the vehicle back to their location.
Right. 5 hours away.
Right.
5 hours away. But at this point, we was like, we don't care.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Zay and
Right.
Daddy was like, we'll bring it back. Just get us to the Passover. So
Right.
we booked it. We only booked for one day because we know we learned it. We'll know what the next day gonna come. Okay.
Don't
Give us
know.
one day. If we need more, we'll call and
That's
extend.
right.
So she came and picked us up, and she said, "Yeah, we got this for you." She came right now. Unfortunately, being that we're live, I cannot link clips,
Right.
but there are clips of 2 Passover shorts that you can see. I'll leave it in the
Right.
description box below once this posts. So she came, she picked us up. Now that I think back, okay, we didn't hear no ticking.
Now, mind you, she didn't pick all of us up. She only came and picked up Amber
and Mommy
and
That's
Mama
right.
Alka.
and
Right.
Peyton, right?
Right.
And she was talking kind of excessively. Wasn't she, Mama?
Right.
She was
Right.
talking excessively on the way, taking us back to the actual center to, do the paperwork, whatever. And when she got there, she turned the car off. Maybe that's what
She
they
knew
do.
something
I
was
don't-
wrong with that vehicle. She knew
She
something was
had
wrong
to.
with
She
that
had to.
vehicle.
Her that ticking time bomb. So
That's right.
we got there, we signed, everything was perfect, and we came, got Daddy, got the boys, got the rest of the kids, and we loaded up. We was like, we're coming, California, we're coming, Madera,
Right.
Springfield area. So loaded everybody up, 2 kids in one seatbelt. It was all janky, but we was trying to go. Okay. So we stopped at the gas station, and then we stopped and got something to eat. And I was like, Zay, did you hear that? He said, yep. I know that sound. Even Mom and Dad was like, we know that sound. But at
Yep.
this point, we were like, we'll deal with it later. We gotta
Right.
make it to the Passover.
We'll swap them out when
Yeah.
we get to Fresno.
That's what we said. We said we'll swap it out when we get to Fresno. Because they know the guy was taking time
Right.
off. So
It sounded like lifter tick. And anybody who knows anything about cars knows that Chevy trucks, they have lifter tick. And it's just one of them things. But like I said, all right, look, whatever, we'll make it there. We'll swap it out and we'll
Right.
keep on going.
right. So we got in there and we were comfortable. We were
Yeah.
comfortable. Okay.
Right.
We were cozy. We was like, we together, but we together. We back on
We
the
together.
road.
Right.
Yeah.
And we start playing a Passover game. We were having fun. All of a sudden,
But we
You know-
stopped to get tacos.
yeah, I
Yeah,
understand
we
that. We
got
stopped and got
tacos.
something to eat, whatever. Yeah, we stopped to get something to eat, got coffee, tacos, whatever everybody wanted, just be comfortable. We got back on the road. We was going. We played the Passover game.
And we started
getting
uphill. We started uphill on a mountain. We started
On a-
uphill on
a steep mountain in the middle of
nowhere.
nowhere.
That's
So
right.
we was, again, in the middle of nowhere, going up this mountain, like a mountain.
Right.
Okay. And they was going. You tell this part. That's all you.
So we were, if anybody know California, we was just past Six Flags, north of LA, smack between Fresno and LA. And we're going up the mountain, and there's 4-5 lanes of traffic. We're in the middle, and I'm driving,
Right.
and my foot, and I'm like, something just ain't right. So, all right, well, let's just go ahead and ease on around this little semi. Mind you, we not speeding.
Nope.
I'm not pushing it. I'm just trying to make it. Hey, Most High just push us up through this mountain. So we cruising, and all of a sudden,
Sorry.
it started to slow down a little bit. And then the ticking
And I
got a
looked at
little
Zay.
louder. And then it said, and it was a wrap. So
Wait a minute.
I
Zay,
told
what did I ask you, Zay?
Look, him saying it triggering me a little bit, cause
Right.
Mr.
Now
Johnny
just
said, Mr. Johnny said, what's the matter, Zay?
you know, They said, "You cuss again, or you didn't cuss this
Yep,
time?"
No,
you
cuss.
did.
You cuss.
Oh, I might
Yes,
have.
you
I
did.
might
Yeah,
have.
because
Said, yeah, he said a little word or two.
I
And
said,
honestly,
don't
it
tell
started
me.
going.
Easy to the right.
Right. I said, don't tell me this car finna break down going uphill on this mountain. And know what they said? I ain't gonna tell you. But guess
Oh
what?
my goodness! So it did. It started. Oh my gosh! Like think about it, everybody. If you're watching this, I'm acting like more. Put a 100 in the chat. Put a 100 in the chat if you cannot believe what you're hearing. We couldn't believe what we lived through, but if you cannot
Right.
believe what you're hearing, because our van, mind you, we had just got a transmission.
Right. The transmission got rebuilt a month and a half before
We
we
just
left.
paid $4,200 for a new transmission.
Yes.
There was no reason that our van should have went out.
Right.
And then you got this 100, Jessica. She listening.
Right.
Yay!
Yay.
And then you got a 2022 Denali going out.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, Miss
Miss
Terry listening.
Terry.
Woo! So we was on the side road. Guess what I did? I could not believe it. I just started
Broke down
crying.
crying.
Yeah.
I had no words. I just started crying because I already went through a trial and tribulation the day before. I'm like,
Almost 24 hours exactly.
I said, so of
Right.
course,
Yeah.
let's all talk about, hey, Zakaria, love you.
Hey.
100. So everybody tell what you thought when that happened. I thought, y'all, what did we do? Why are we going? What did I do? What did you think?
First thing,
At
I'm
first,
sorry, I mean,
I just
go
couldn't
ahead a
believe
second.
it. I just couldn't believe it. It's how we go from we stranded, broke down in the desert, just trying to make what we're supposed to be, to stranded, broke down on a mountain, just trying to make it to what we're supposed to be.
Right.
Right.
So at the time, all I could do was have the faith that the Most High was just going to provide, and that was it. Because I didn't have nothing else.
Dad, what you thought?
Well, when I look back and I saw you crying, the first thing came to my mind is to console my child. And I turned around and said, look, it's going to be all right. The Most High going to see us through this. Because you remember I told you that. And I could tell that you was just like, you know what, I'm tired. And this
I
ain't
worried.
going to
I was
stop.
like, because I was trying to be so strong the day before,
Right.
when the police split us up and
Right.
he had, you riding the back of, we don't do police officers, okay?
Right.
And we in the
What?
back of we in the back of a police car, but granted, it felt like we were being carried in
Right.
comfort, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad thing. He was kind, he was gentle, he was caring. You can tell the Most High was telling him what to do.
Right.
Right.
And then you're in the middle of the desert and you ain't got to pee outside and your kids hungry and you've been out there for 3.5 hours. Then you eating at a gas station and you
Right.
are between Arizona. It was just a lot the day before. So I was weary. Mama, what did you feel when that 2022 Denali was on a cliff? Okay. Stop.
One of the thoughts was the ram in the bush, and another thought was I knew he would provide, but I was still on that scripture when Yeshua asked the two sons of Zebedee
Yeah.
if they could endure, and I felt like we were being
Tested.
not tested but strengthened to endure what was ahead of us. So I didn't feel like a punishment or anything. I felt like we were being strengthened.
Yeah. And with you saying that, I'll say it at the tail end because at that moment I didn't feel that. But once you said, y'all, it's okay, we're being strengthened. We all have to remember every feast day, Passover,
Yeah.
Sukkot,
We go
whatever.
through some. We go through
Right.
some.
We had no problems coming from Tennessee to Arizona just to chase the sun. Oh, smooth trip. But just trying to
Right.
go from Arizona to California,
Right.
we break it down every chance we get in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So with that, you was
Right.
like, oh, okay, it's something to this.
Right.
All right, so let's get
Right.
into the details. So when that happened, we called Enterprise.
Right.
Now, what we
It
mean?
gets crazy.
Oh, saying their name.
Right.
Okay,
That's how they know.
take that out. We didn't call them. We called the rental company. Right? The rental car company. We called the rental car company. Y'all act like I hear it. We can't edit. Okay.
Right.
And she gonna say, oh, call your insurance. My mama said, now this is where, look, it was meant for all of us to be together. It was meant for me not to be by myself. It was meant because I was about to say, yes, ma'am. Mama said, no, you ain't. No, ma'am. Give me that phone. Ma'am. How blessed are you? Okay. We're not going to do that. Okay. We're not going to do that. This is your vehicle. We didn't have a wreck.
Right.
We didn't do anything. This
Right.
is on your however you're taking care
On
of
your
whatever.
end.
Yeah.
It's on
Right.
your end.
So the lady did end up. So this showed me gentleness still gets better results than being mean, you know.
Right.
Right.
But she did return for us to her roadside assistance. Just to kind of fast forward a little bit, we called them, but they were like, until you get off the road, until you get a police officer with you, because you're on the side of a mountain, call me back. I
Right.
was like, no, sir, don't hang
Right.
up, please. He's like, get a cop or somebody to escort you guys off the road, then call us back.
Right.
I'm like, fine.
Mm.
So Daddy and Zay was really quick and they knew roadside, they knew highway patrol.
Highway patrol, speed down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they called them. But before that ever happened, before they pulled up, once we called highway patrol, they was like, we gotta go, Mr. Johnny. Let's go. All right, Daddy and Zay, take it on.
Well, I was thinking to myself, all right,
Mm-mm-mm.
we gotta leave, but I did not want to leave my family behind on the
But
top of a
Dad,
mountain in the traffic.
you gotta tell the people why.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
So why
because
did you think we had to leave?
well,
Well,
Zay, go ahead. You explain that part, Zay.
so we, mind you, of course, the United States is different all the way across the United States, but we in California. California is a little bit different, a little more strict, a little more. They do extra stuff for no reason. So we have 7 people, or we have 9
9 and
people
7
in a
passengers.
7-passenger van, in a 7-passenger vehicle. And I got to thinking about it, and I said, well, let me just look up what what the law is out here in Cali for these seatbelts and these peoples in a car.
Yeah.
And so after doing that, I realized that there's a lot of different repercussions that can come to when this policeman shows up to where we
That's
just
right.
called him to. It ain't like it's
Right.
an accident. We called him to come out here,
Right.
and you mean to tell me y'all got too many people for this car?
Right.
So the law in California can go as far as it was like $1,500 in fines, and potentially somebody could go to jail.
Right.
So I was like, well, Mama Alka, Mr. Johnny, somebody got to go, and it's 2 people. We can play rock paper scissors, or me and Miss Johnny can go, or me and Jeremiah, whichever way you want to do.
Got to go.
But
We got
somebody
and gotta go now.
right?
And we got to go
Because
now.
they don't play out here in Cali, so
Right.
they show up fast.
Oh, he showed.
Dang.
He came right on.
did.
Yeah.
He showed came. So
We struck out. Me and Zay was like, I said, well, number one, my baby ain't finna get out on this mountain. So I said, it's gonna be me and Zay.
and Mama
So we
was like,
decided to get out.
we ain't splitting up.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what you thought, right, Mama?
So Zay, I don't know who else he had talked to about this, but when he got to me, he said, Mama Alcas, he said, me and Father John gonna have to go on. We're gonna walk up to the next exit. He said, and we got to do it quick. That's what he said. He said, we got to do it quick.
Right.
Right.
Because when the police show up, they cannot tie us to you all.
Right.
He said, so we got to get some distance between us. And I was like, why? He said, because we're going to be fine. It's 9 people in a 7-passenger
Right.
vehicle. I said, we'll just pay the fines.
Mm-mm.
We'll pay the fines.
My father got all the money.
It was something a little more.
And he said, but somebody may go to jail.
Mm.
He said, and I can risk losing my CDL.
All right.
And so that's when I said, well, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. And what came to mind for me then was someone told me a long time ago to read the Bible for myself, because you never know when you've got to defend your home.
Right.
Women should read for themselves so that they can defend their home in the absence of their husbands. And so that came to me, and I said, okay, Father, you have blessed me to read for myself. Now I've got to practice what you have taught me.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with that.
So when Zay said that, I was like, They ain't sit with me good either. I'm like, leave me out here, baby. So a couple things. The Most High made the children be calm. He made
Yes.
the children obey.
Yes.
And he put me and mom in a role. It felt like a role change. So we went from, "Oh, honey, save me," to,
Temple distress.
"Mom, you ready? Yeah, let's go." Boom.
Let's go. That's
We're
right.
ready, like that. So we
Right.
was like, "Y'all be safe, do what you gotta do." Remember I said that? What's wrong, Judah? No, we ain't coming here to show the people the cut. Go put that back in that box I gave you.
No.
He got some toys
Yeah,
in
he
it.
got toys in it. Take
So
it back in the van.
Daddy and they thought that the girls finna walk up maybe 3 miles.
Right.
No, they
Right.
didn't.
Wait a minute. Zay found a little town over the viaduct that he said wouldn't take no more than about 30 minutes walk. That's what we thought.
Right.
That's what we
Right.
thought.
Right.
It was
And
true. It was true.
It was true that there was
it was
one,
true.
but
But
let's keep going. We'll tell the people what happened with that. So they went up the thing. It was heartening to see. First of all, when you see your dad, he got a hurt back. Walking up the interstate, and he got a busted knee walking up the interstate to
Uphill.
separate
uphill.
themselves for a purpose that you don't know what the Most High told him.
Right.
He may not
Right.
have told me, but you don't know what the Most High told Zay.
Right.
Now, what came to my mind when this happened was Mama had what came to her mind. This is why it's very important to read the Bible for yourself. These stories were put into record to help us through our lives. Abraham and
Right.
Sarah came to my mind when that happened. When Sarah and Abraham was going through a town or a city, and he was like, "Tell them you're my sister.
Right.
They'll treat
That's
us
right.
differently if they know you my
Right.
boo thing." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
good job, Judah. So that was kind of like, see, the police that came day two, the second police officer, he was kind, he was gentle, he was down to earth, he was caring, all that. But if he saw two black men that feared, the fierce Most High, he could have treated us totally different. So
Right.
the Most High had to remove our strength, and Daddy and they had to trust that the Most High had us, right?
Right.
And because it could have just been different. So let me get back to it. So the police came like Superman out of nowhere, right? He pulled up so fast we thought he was gonna hit us on
I
over the bridge,
did.
on over
He's
the mountain.
moving over so he won't. Because I thought he was going to
Yeah.
hit us.
I'm like, hold on, y'all. I'm like, if he was gonna hit us, right? So, and then the tow truck guy called. He was Hispanic, mind you. None of only I can't say his name. Only the Hebrew that helped us get from the coffee shop, whatever, the gas station to the hotel was the only one on the road that helped us. Other than that, it was all foreigners or strangers. Somebody
Right.
that's not of Judah
Israel.
Of
bloodline in the
Israel.
city,
Yeah.
right? So, the Hispanic guy was like, "Where you at?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." He was like, "Did you go past the construction zone?" I don't know. It's like,
We,
so I
we
forgot
went.
that I forgot that I was supposed to be driving, because the real driver went up the mountain. So I was like, "Let me look it up." I said, "Sir, I wasn't even paying attention." So I was like, either way, he found us. And he
Right.
came. It's like, "It's going to be okay, ma'am. People break down here all the time." I was like, that makes me feel much better, sir. So what happened was the Hispanic or the Caucasian police officer wouldn't let mom and me lift a finger. They didn't let us
Mm.
lift the car seats. No, ma'am, we
Hallelujah.
got it.
Thanks to Most
Just
High.
stand out the
Yeah.
street. Matter of fact, you come first, and he'll block and say, "Ma'am, come on." You walk on over, and here come Judah. It's supposed to be me, Judah, and Torah. Here come Judah. No, mommy, I don't want to get in that ugly truck. I'm like, all right, all right. So I'm like,
He
"Sir,
threw a fit.
you're gonna have to take me, Tor, and Judah at the same time because
Right.
Judah's not going in the truck by himself." So he got the car seat, and he took 3 of us at one time. And I was like,
Ooh,
"Judah, it's
wait.
okay, it's safe. Mama got you." So we got in there, and then they took Mama and the other ones to the police truck car. Um, I know it took about 45 minutes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come up here, Noah.
Go be.
Let me go back. He said, the police officer said, where y'all want to go? We said, just take us to the next town.
Right.
Just take us to the next town. I said, what's the next town? He said, no. He said, I can't take you to the next town.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets interesting.
Sir,
This is where
I'm
me and
hot.
Zay were
Wait a
headed.
minute.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where we walking.
Everybody needs to tell where they were at that moment.
Right. So I was like, sir, just take us to the next exit. I need to feed my children. We probably all gotta pee. Everybody know Noah got weak bladder. Okay. So he's like, I cannot take. I said, what's at the next exit? He's like, a gas station to McDonald's. I was like, I'll eat McDonald's right now. I'll eat it. And he was like, he looked at me. He
He's
said,
like,
I cannot and I will not take you to the next exit. You do not
that's
want to
right.
go. That's what I felt. Mama, your turn.
Now, when he was telling her that, I was not with them. I am in the police car with Noah and Judah. No, Noah and
They're hungry.
Jeremiah.
Get in the popcorn. Hold
And
on, Mama. I'm
so,
sorry. You can keep going. You can keep going.
Right. Yeah.
Get in popcorn.
so
In
when the officer gets in the car with us, he asked for my ID and he was very nice and he ran my ID. I told him, if I was 20, you probably would arrest me, but I'm 55. I'm good. So he said, okay. And then I told him, I said, we just need to go to the next exit because in my mind, that's where I'm going to meet my husband at and my son.
Because
Right.
he walked me on the
So
street.
he said, I'm not taking you to the next exit. He said, I'm taking you backwards. I called Amber. I said, they going to take us backwards. She said, that doesn't make sense. And she's getting upset. And so I let him, they're still working on getting this 2022 Denali up on the tow truck.
Yeah, the dollar.
Right.
Amber calls me and to my mama, what's taking
What's
this man
taking
so
him so long?
long?
Right.
Look, because Judah all in the man bag in the tow truck. Judah that took the man electronics out the thing. I'm like, sir, you might want to come on for Judah drives this thing on off. Okay. So I called Mama like, Mama, what's taking him? So can y'all see something? Because what's taking it's like 45 minutes.
Right. So the officer hears that because, I ain't got nothing to hide.
So he got
So
me on
he
speaker.
gets out the car. He said, you know what? Let me go check. So he goes and he checks and he comes back. And he tells me, he said he can't figure out, it's locked. He can't get the Denali unlocked for it to go up on the truck, on the bed of
Right.
the truck. So I said, I'm going to call Zay. So I call Zay. And I tell Zay what he says.
But
And really, I need Zay to pick up from there. So I call you, Zay, and tell you that they can't get the Denali up on the truck.
Right.
So you take it over now.
Can I say something before Zay go?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I'm gonna speed this up as fast as I can, y'all, just to
You
show
good.
y'all how good the Most High
Yes,
is.
he is.
Okay. On the way up the hill, I almost didn't make it. Zay had to take my backpack and the stuff that I had, and he felt bad for me, so he helped me. Cause remember, I got a bad back, y'all. So we went up the hill, we sweating, and we see a big sign that says, "Warning: rough road ahead for the next mile." Now we should have paid attention to that. That was really a warning from the Most High. And we got up there and we saw a truck pulled over to the side because all the truck was whizzing by us. And I said, "Look, Zay, they broke down just like us." And Zay was like, "Okay, then." We still walking and we get around the truck and the guy blows at us. And Zay said, "Well, he may need some help." So we went over to see what he said. He said, "I just saw y'all broke down on the road, so y'all walking up the mountain. Do you guys need a ride?" And I was like,
I ain't gonna
I
give
was
this truck
so
to nobody.
look, I was so hot and tired, and at the point of passing out, I said, "You know what? Forget." I said, "I'll get in." And then when we got in, the guy made a joke. He said, "Oh, y'all not gonna rob me, right?" I said, "Look, man, I'm not even use foul language. I'm so tired and hot." I said, we just want to get to the next town over. He's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, we just want to get to the town at the end of the paddock, you know." And he was like, "I can't take y'all there." Now remind you guys, we were headed to a place like a sundown town, and
Okay.
we didn't know it.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead, Zay. You can take it from there.
So yeah, no, I mean that was essentially it. So we were walking past the truck, and he blew, and Mr. John was in front of me, so he was a little bit farther ahead.
Because he was on the mission. He's
Right.
trying to get to the sundown town.
Right.
Okay.
The cat in the truck, he had the window down. He said, "Hey, y'all need a ride?" I was like, well, I was just gonna jump on side of the truck and tell him no. I jumped on side of the truck, and my whole demeanor changed because I was just gonna tell him no, we finna walk down there and keep it moving. But when I got on the side of the truck and he spoke to me, my demeanor changed. It wasn't me. The Most High changed my outlook of what I had planned.
Right.
And he said, "Y'all need a ride?" He said, "I seen y'all walking way back there down the mountain, but y'all was too far over, and I couldn't pull over back there, so I pulled over up here to wait for y'all to get here."
And that's the Most High waiting.
Right.
He pulled over, waiting for you to come to him.
Right.
But he was around the bush.
Right. And I told him, I said, "Hey, bro, we just trying to get to the next, the next exit down here." And he was like, "Well, come on, bro, just get in the truck. I'll give y'all a ride." I said, "Mr. Johnny," he said, "Let's go." Mr. Johnson, "You sure?" I said, "Nope." Hey, we jumped in the truck, and that's when Mr. Johnny had his his conversation with the driver, and so we going down the road.
But like you said, you thought you was gonna go 3 miles. It ended up being how many miles?
It ended up being like 35 miles because where we were initially going, we drove by it on the interstate. I was like, "Hey, that's where we were going right there." He said, "I ain't taking y'all there.
Oh, you're right.
I can't take y'all there." And I was like, "What you mean?" And that was when he was essentially explaining that it was a sundown town for other people's wink wink. And so so we were on en route to where he was going to take us that was safe. And that was when Mama Alka called me. So I'd been talking to Amber before, and Amber was like, "This truck driver can't get the Yukon on the tow truck." And I was like, "Baby, just let me talk to the tow truck." Amber said, "And we ain't got time for you to be over here trying to fix everything. Where you at?" I was like, "Whoa, what?" And then she hung up.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that was you.
And then Mama,
but you gotta remember, like I said, you gotta remember, we in this tow truck for 40 some minutes. He ain't got there like the police officer do. And Judah I got Torah. She already a new baby in all this situation, and
the stress
trying
level was high.
nursing her, and Peyton was like, "This is fine." Peyton was like, "This is fine. They could right in the front of a tow truck.
Best day ever.
Right.
It's the best day ever." I'm like, "Take my picture, Mom." I'm like, "Okay." And then Judah trying to take the man's stuff, and I'm just like, and then I'm worried about Zay and Daddy, and I'm like, they in the truck with this dude. I hope they're all right. So yeah, so Mama called Zay. Zay talked to Mama, and the guy they was riding with, between Zay and the guy that was riding with, they knew exactly what to do. They did a Denali to get it on the truck. So the tow truck guy was like, "This car is just too smart. I hate these new cars because they all electronic.
Right.
And if the computer not working, it's not gonna do nothing.
Right.
But y'all got it to going."
Right. So it just so happened that the Most High put us in the truck with the guy that used to be a tow truck driver. And so he said, "I know exactly what you need to do." I was like, "What you mean?" Because he overheard the conversation. He was like, "Hey, tell the tow truck driver to crawl under the truck, take the thing with a screwdriver, pop it down, and put it in neutral." I said, "Well, hey, this is what he said do." And Malcolm said, "All right."
It worked.
Well,
and so we finally got that on, and we got to moving, right?
Right.
Was it a bug on you?
Yeah,
it was. Finally got to moving. Zay and Daddy kept it moving with the guy. And the police officer told the tow truck guy to take this shortcut, and we was like, we felt like presidential, like we get to take this shortcut that no one else is taking. There was no one else there.
Like the mother in the church.
Yeah.
Right. I got my hand up. So when the police officer got back in the car, I asked him, take us to the next exit. And here's when he told me. He had been so kind, but he looked me right in the eyes. He said, "Ma'am, I'm not taking you there, and I can't."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "We're going backwards."
Right.
I said, "We can't go backwards." He said, "Oh, yeah, we're going backwards."
Yep.
And so I called Amber and told her that.
Right.
So think about that. The men are going on.
Right. We going forward.
They go on. Me, Mom, and all these kids, we had to go back. So I was like, we're even more separated.
Right.
Right.
So that happened. the police officer ended up giving Noah a good time because tell her what happened, Mom.
So earlier
Hold
we was
on,
trying
real
to get
quick.
they was
Shalom to everyone that just tuned in. I see our count is going up. Shalom, shalom. Don't forget
Shalom.
to say where you're tuning in from. Thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. And we hope this testimony can inspire you. All right, Mama.
so Noah had told me earlier that he had to pee. But I forgot. It was a lot going on. And so the police officer, he whizzing us through traffic. And Noah said, Granny, you forgot I had to pee and I can't hold it.
Oh,
The police officer said, what, buddy? He said, I can't hold it. He said, oh, yeah, buddy, hold it,
come on,
hold it.
girl.
That man
Come here,
took
real
us
light.
straight across the traffic
He was dry.
to some dirt road up in the boonies and told Noah, he said, this is why I pee at night. He said, so you get out. And it was beautiful up in there.
Yeah.
He said, you get out and you shoot for that rock. That's what I do. Noah thought he was the king of the castle because he got out, he
Right.
whipped it out, and he was aiming. So that made his day.
So like where we were in a moment of trial and tribulation, the children outlook and perspective was totally different. Peyton said this is the best day of her life.
Right.
Had all done to her for her in her life. This was the best day of her life.
It was an
Noah
adventure.
was having fun. Judah was like, Judah be like, dude, come on. Like Judah, he different. Tor was fine. And the kids didn't see the struggle that we thought we were seeing. Now we're privileged to have walked for the Most High, but then it was just different.
Right.
So, at this time, the man was going on. We was going back. Okay, so I was calling around while we were driving, trying to find another
Vehicle. Yeah.
car
Right.
rental place that can get this up out of whatever. Because he was like, I got to take this to the tow yard. I already know where these cars go. When this happens, I know where to take it, which is in LA.
Right.
We don't want to go all the way back to LA. So he was like, find another close, I'll take you. So he took us and our stuff to a place, right? And we just went to the closest one because no one said that
They had a vehicle.
they had a vehicle. So at this point,
Again.
I'm like, Mom said, take us here and leave us on the curb. They can't close until they get us a vehicle. I'm like, okay, Mom, I can see you. So they took us to, I don't remember the place. They took us to the nearest one and they took our stuff out. Well, we took our stuff out and we set it right there in the parking lot. And we was like, we're gonna do. And the guy was like, oh, I don't have anything for you. I haven't had anything for. Was like, okay.
Right. So the manager came out of the facility at the car rental place that I can't call the name of. And he said to me, he said, we're getting ready to close and we have nothing. I said, well, you can't close with us on your curb. And the police officer, he looked at me. He said, you're right. I said, so we'll be here together.
They ready to go home. They want to go home.
And you know
I
he was
ain't got
ready to
nowhere
go
to go.
home.
I can't go nowhere. You can't go nowhere.
No. So yeah, the tow truck guy helped me pull all that stuff out of the Denali, and we put it on the curb. I'm like, Judah's like, he needs pamper change. I'm like, we're doing it on the curb. We out here.
Right.
We out here now. What else you need? Need something to eat? We go eat on the curb. Like, we on the curb.
We on the curb.
But
That's
we
right.
blessed because we together. And so the police officer dropped Mama and them all, got everything out, and Mama prayed for them. He couldn't believe. I think I feel he felt every word Mama said. And
Oh my goodness. Just to think of him, even in this moment, he was so kind. And the Most High was just telling me to speak to him and pray for him. And I did, and he couldn't believe it, but he accepted. He said, I receive it. And so I'm so thankful. If he ever sees this video, again, that blessing is going to be so phenomenal. Your eyes won't believe.
Yeah.
But remember who it's from. All praises.
All praise.
yes, now he probably will see this video because once he left, he came back and he said, "Ma'am,
Yes.
give me your YouTube channel." And he wrote it down. He said, "Thank you." I will be watching. So he may see this video and comment below, sir, if you see this video. I hope all is well with you and your new baby. So
Yes.
we sat there and just to fast forward it because we have 45 minutes. I'm trying to see, do y'all think we should do a part 3 or you think we should try to
Well,
finish it up?
I did want to say something right quick. When me
Oh,
and
I'm not
Zay
gonna cut
got
it
to
off
the
this shit.
well,
I need to answer this my I need to answer something right quick. A message I'm getting.
That's fine.
So talk for a minute. Let me answer this.
No problem. All right. So right, keep on
keep
trucking.
on trucking.
And
All right.
so the guy did come back and he got our YouTube channel and whatnot. Now the enterprise. Oh
The rental
shoot,
prize.
shoot, because I ain't supposed to be saying the name. That's why.
The rental prize.
That I ain't supposed to be saying the name of the company. So the rental car company manager
Right.
came out and was like, "Look, I'm gonna give y'all this. Now let me tell you what he gave us. Mind you, it was somebody else's vehicle. They were
Right.
finna get in it. He went and said he went to them and said, "Y'all can't have this," and he locked it. He said, "I have to get these
Right.
people."
Right.
And they was like, so they looked at us like we was some dirt on the ground because they looked at us like, "Who are
Right.
y'all that he giving y'all my vehicle?"
Right.
And not mind you, we were illegal again. He gave us a Toyota Highlander.
Right.
So even though we was less two people, we still too little.
Right.
And we had all the luggage. All of it. And so we had all the luggage. We still squeezed that in there. We told the kids, lift your legs, lift your head, move your arm. It was stuff everywhere. But we got in that Highlander
Right.
and we filled it up, got something to eat, and we left.
Right.
Right? Mind you, the dashboard said return to sender, need maintenance. I said, what's going on with these vehicles? Do you think we care? Do you think? Put up 1,000 in the chat if you think, if you knew and agree, we didn't care. We came this far. We gotta go get our husbands. Oh, we can't go get y'all because y'all won't go fit, but we gotta meet
Right.
them and make it to the Passover.
Right.
Right.
So
oh,
y'all, mama, you
can I say,
done?
yeah, can I say something, Amber?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Well, this is just to let everybody know how the Most High lets you know that He's with you. Because,
Right.
see, when me and Zay made it to our destination after we finished thanking the guy that helped us, we went into one restaurant, but we had to walk down to another restaurant that seemed a little more friendlier. And when we
All right.
walked in, we met another guy that was, I think, was Hispanic. And he said, "Hey, man, I saw you guys walking up the hill." And I was like, he said, "Yeah." He said, "Where y'all need to go, man?" He said, I can take you to your destination." And me and Zay said, "Look, man, we trying to make it to Cali. It's too far." He said, "Oh, it's not bad, man." He said, "I live in Goshen." I said, "What did you say?" He said, "I live in Goshen. It's not too far from Fresno where you guys trying to get to." I
Right.
said, "Sir, you just helped us." I said, "We don't really need a ride, but you just gave me confirmation."
Right.
Yeah,
And,
we
and
on the
we
right
stood,
path.
we on
Right.
the right path, and we stayed there and talked to that guy, and he was telling us that he said, "I'm helping you all because," he said, "God saved my life." He said, I could have died."
All praises.
He's at that same hill y'all was coming up. He said, "Look, man," he said, "my motor went out," and he said, "I could have went over that hill. The motor could have came in and hit me. The crash would have been bad." He said, "I know I would have been dead." He said, "But he saved my life, and I got to help you guys." He said, "Let me just take you out to your destination." He says, "No problem." And Zay, you take it from there.
So at that point, it
Hallelujah.
was sinking in that, well, our family is still the other direction of the direction we need to be going.
Right. Shalom, America.
And so I was like, I appreciate it. He gave us confirmation
Right.
that we are still on the right path. But
Right.
I appreciate it, but we'll be right here and we'll stick to the plan that the Most High gave us to wait
That's
here
right.
for our household.
Right.
And so he could have took us, but I don't know what would happen at that point. But all I knew is that we
Right.
were supposed to wait here. And at this point, I'm trying to follow instruction. I'm not trying to figure nothing else out.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
like we all went to a point of surrendering completely and
Right.
totally.
Right.
And
Right.
as long as we were together at some point, we didn't honestly at that point we didn't care no more.
Right.
Because
Right.
we love the most high, we trust him, and we know
True.
he created us to love on us. Like we're even here, we're even who we are because he created a people that he can love.
Right.
And he loves
That's
us.
right.
Like my friends say, he loves us real big.
Real
So
big.
so this had a point. All this had a reason. We're going to have to come back for part 3 because there's still more to this story and there's a lot of script that needs to be added and conclusions that need to be added, and we're at 50 minutes. So we are going to stop here at the fact that we did get another rental car, but even that had a return to the center, engine need to be maintenance or maintenance required. The guys
Right.
were we were two totally separate directions, but we're going to stop it there and wait for part 3.
And it's
Um
so hot out here. I'm so glad you stopped. I'm melting.
yeah, I'm gonna stop it because the kids, it's a wrap, 50 minutes. They did
They
great.
did good.
They did really great. So now we gotta go take them for ice cream or something. Or maybe take mommy for burgers. Oh, it ain't gonna do me. Okay. Um, so y'all get out the sun. Thank you everyone who tuned in for
Yeah.
part 2. Don't forget, go back to watch part 3. No, part 1. And the other 2 videos we have, we're gonna get Daddy at the sun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to turn on your notification button so you can be notified of part 3 when it's uploaded. And that is it. Anybody got anything else to say?
Nope.
Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you so
Shalom,
much.
guys.
Shalom.